Welcome to the Calm Corner podcast. My name is Elisa, and I'm your host of this podcast and the creator of the mindfulness blog and website, calmcorner.com. This podcast is for female empaths and highly sensitive people who want to experience more joy and peace in their daily life with themselves and in their relationships. In this podcast, you'll hear stories to help connect and inspire, tools to help promote calm and joy in everyday life, such as mindfulness, self-care, relationship spirituality, and guided meditations to decrease stress. Thanks for being here, and let's go right ahead. All right, so in this episode, we're going to dig deeper into who do we actually spend our time with and what can we learn from the data. So I'm using the data from our World in Data that looks at time use, and through up until our 20s, we spend a lot of time with our family, friends, siblings, right? But as we hit our 20s, those time with friends, siblings, parents start to disappear. And in our 30s to 50s, right, we spend more time with our partners, our children, if we have any, our coworkers. And the data shows when we're above 40 years of age, we are spending more and more time alone. And so we could say that older adults, right, we spend a lot more time alone. And that being said, alone doesn't mean lonely, right? So, whatever age you're in right now, I'm in my 30s. I'm asking myself, what can we glean from this data here? For me, it means that I want to be more intentional with my time with family and friends um, who are important to me, right? And also, I want to be more comfortable being alone and spending time to myself, right? Exploring the community on my own as well, but also reaching out to friends and family who don't live with me anymore. Not that friends live with me, but could be roommates, right? Old roommates, but be intentional, right? We live in different towns, different countries, different continents. How can we um, initiate and reach out and fostering that friendship? Because friendship, like any other relationships, require effort. And if those relationships are meaningful to you, we got to put the time in. We got to show vulnerability, right? We got to be the one who reaches out as well. So, what this data means to me as well is that I just move into a new town, right? Not really knowing anyone. I just got married, right? Moved into a new area, so I don't know anyone. So how can I build a community here? How can I make a friend, right? So I started to um, do some research about the offerings in the community, and I found out, for example, I'm into spirituality, and I found out that there's going to be a self-love sound bath in-person event coming up that sounds really interesting, or that I am a strong believer in taking care of myself. So how can I continue my self-care practices, right? Yes, it's great that I have access to the park. I can take my dog there, and he can run freely in the grass, right? Or yes, it's nice to have a target that's close by, but also how can I build my self care practices a little bit more, right? So I'm looking into places that I could potentially do some therapeutic body work, right? That could mean getting a massage, facial, but slowly following my curiosity as well and building a practice. Yes, I am also a homebody, right? And lighting candles and reading and doing yoga, but also it's important to foster that in-person connection as well. And you know what? A phone call is always available, right? I have lived alone before, and many of you have. So it's okay to transition into this new phase of what is it like to be in a new community, with or without a partner, right? For me, my husband just left for the military, right, for a month, and so what does that mean to me, living by myself, right? How can I tune into myself, take care of myself, reach out to the people who I care about, but also being open to help as well. So, connecting with a counselor, right? Making sure that I am mindful of building my support system. So, look into your support system. That is our call to action today. Do something that's a little bit outside of our comfort zone, right? Picking up, making that phone call, sending off a postcard to a friend, reestablishing the connections that you want to establish with. Um, yeah, so looking at the data, right? As we age, we are inevitably going to spend more time alone. So let's start to practice that. Get more comfortable with spending time alone, because in the end, as we enter this world, on our own, we're going to have to exit on our own as well. All right. Well, thank you for tuning in. It's a short and sweet episode. I hope you have a wonderful day and a beautiful week ahead, and that you will ponder about how you're actually spending your time and who you're spending your time with. Bye. Lastly, please consider giving me a review or just letting me know, through Instagram or my website, Calm Corner, to see, how this content resonates with you. I just really want to say thank you for tuning in and taking the time to listen all the way to the end here. Have a beautiful day.